Hi. So the next thing on our list to do is to put blinds up in the lounge. We did have in the lounge, we had some lovely luxurious curtains. They were thick, they were padded, they went all the way around, and we've got 7 windows and a patio door in the lounge. Covered all of them, and it had a nice pelmet going across the top of it and tie backs, very traditional. But we've decided that we'd like to change them into some roller blinds for a couple of reasons. One, I think that roller blinds are a little bit more modern, but also we want to be able to incorporate them into the smart home. While curtains you can easily incorporate into a smart home, and you've got all sorts of attachments you can have for opening and closing curtains. These are particularly heavy curtains, so I think it's going to be really difficult to find something that will work with them. So what I've done is I've gone and found types of roller blinds that will work specifically for smart homes. And the ones that I've settled on are BlocBlinds. Now, there's a number of different types that will work with smart homes and with Home Assistant specifically that we're integrating with. But BlocBlinds seems to be very reasonably priced, has a good selection, nice colors, it has blackout blinds, and it's really simple automation. And they're based in the UK as well. As us, so nice and easy to order to get them delivered. So putting them up should be quite straightforward. So as you can see, what we've done originally is to take down the curtains and the pelmet, and we've just given it a lick of paint throughout, so we've got a nice fresh room to start with. And then putting the new blinds up should be quite straightforward because we're quite fortunate. So at the top of the window frames, we've got a wooden surround, so it should be as simple as literally just screwing in the blind supports into the wood. I don't need to drill any holes. If you do, then obviously you need to make sure that you've got raw plugs and supports and everything done correctly. But for us, it should be nice and straightforward, and I can then integrate that into our smart home. One thing I have noticed though, reading through the instructions, which is quite important, is that when you're connecting the blinds, there's 2 connectors, one at each end. Now, one of them has got a cover on which you can put on initially and put onto the right-hand side of the blind. That's absolutely fine. But when you're putting the left-hand side on, it says to put in the instructions to put the cover on, and then you can put that up, and then you put the blind in. Now, the blind won't actually go in if you put the cover on the blind. I learned that just by putting it together on the floor just to see how they go together. So it's important that you put the left-hand side up just with the fitting, and then the little plastic cover you put on that afterwards. Okay, so apart from that, it's really quite straightforward to put up. So hopefully I should now be able to just put them up, and we'll see how that goes. So as you can see, putting up the blind is really quite straightforward. Just put one end in, measure the other end. When I use the actual blind as a measurement, but you can use tape measure, whichever's easiest, mark it and screw it in. Simple as that. So all you need to do now is just connect the remote. So because we've got 8 blinds, 8 windows in here, so we're going to have blind on each window, you can have up to 15 blinds on one remote control. So just set it to channel 8, just make it easy. And then all we have to do is just reset the blind. At the same time, press the remote control. And you see that it just moves and you get the 3 beeps. So now all we have to do is just lower it to the position we want it, and then set the low position, and then raise it to the high position, set the high position, and we're done. Simple as that. Now that that's set, the top position and the bottom position, we can now take the end cap on the left hand side because it's clipped in and we're happy with it, and we can actually just slide that one on. So as I mentioned earlier, if you try and put that on earlier, it does make it really difficult to try and put the blind up. You have to bend it, wobble it, and all sorts of crazy stuff you don't want to do. Now I've got a friend that's come to help me. We'll just repeat this and we'll just do the other blinds all the way around the room, and then we should have the room done, and it shouldn't take too long at all. Now I've managed to get all of the blinds up. It's really quite straightforward, not difficult at all. They all go up, they're all connected to the remote on different channels, 1 to 8, so I can open and close them individually. I've also connected them through to BlocBlinds, the application that's just on my phone, and that integrates really well with both Home Assistant and Google and Alexa. So it's easy to control them through anything else. And now I can start setting them up and putting them into Home Assistant and having some scenes or some automations. And I can open it up with the sunrise, close them with the sunset, anything like that. Now all I need to do is just, when I want to watch TV, press the button, they all go down. So it's really as simple as that. I don't know what else to say about them. They're just really straightforward, not too expensive, and we love them. So on to the next project.